another optic unboxing video, and this dot was sent to us from ADE Advanced Optics. So let's get this thing out of the box. Alright, got our user manual in this bag. And a bunch of other stuff. So there's our manual. Set that off to the side. Just a congratulations thing about the optic and the warranty and sending it back. Got a cleaning cloth. Got our silica gel. Looks like we got 6 different screws in this bag. We've got our CR 2032 battery. 3 different Allen wrenches. Little micro Phillips screwdriver. And the dot. And that is everything in the box. Alright, we're going to get the dot out first because this is something different that ADE has not done yet. So before I show you the other part, we'll get into this. So this is the ADE Ares red dot. And if you can tell, something that's super cool about this has got a side mount battery, just like a Holosun, which is awesome. Don't have to take the dot off to change the battery. Alright, this is mounted on a mount right now to go on a Picatinny rail, which that's going to be coming off, because this will be going on a handgun. And now, let's get into what this is. And I thought this was really cool, and when they gave me the option of some different dots to review, I definitely wanted to review this one, because this has a weather cover to go over it. And that sits on there just like that. And that is just awesome looking. Alright, I got it off the mount, and we're going to dive into this dot a little bit. So we already went over its side mount battery. Okay, now the last ADE video we did, we reviewed the new ADE Pro, which was a green dot. Now this is a red dot, but one cool thing about this, it does have shake awake. And it will shut itself off after 5 minutes, and then it will turn itself back on. Now if you want to manually shut it off, you can hold the minus for about 3 to 4 seconds, and it will turn off if you want to just shut it off completely before you put it in the gun safe at night. Or you can hold down on the plus and turn the dot back on. Just hold it for about 3 seconds and it will turn on. And we already went over the battery, CR 2032 side mount, so we don't have to worry about trying to change the battery by taking the dot off or taking it from the top. And I believe this is the first ADE that I've reviewed on the channel that has this side mount. Alright, let's go over the dimensions of the ADE Ares. Your length on this, 1.84 inches. Your width, 1.30 inches. And your height is 1.15 inches. Now this has a pretty good size window on it, and your objective on this is 28 by 17. Now when we unboxed this, I showed you that little Phillips screwdriver. I've already got one of the screws out, but this is what you're going to use to open the battery compartment. They are very tiny screws. I would recommend you do this over top of a board like I'm on, or on your bench, but I would not try to do this out in the field, because if you drop one of these screws in the grass or on the ground or in some gravel, you're not going to find it. Alright, so we got that opened up. Alright, we got those screws out, and we're going to open up this little door, and it works just like a hollow-sewn. It is tight, I will say that. Alright, your battery is on the bottom side in there. Now, the reason I took this apart, because sometimes I've had some issues with these batteries that come with the dots, and I like to just switch them out to a good Duracell battery or an Energizer. So let me grab one of those and we'll get it put back in. Alright, we're going to be using an Energizer 2032 lithium battery. We're on. Yeah, so this dot is brighter. I can already tell by looking at it with that battery versus the one that was in it. Now, when I took it out of the package, it was on, and being that it's shake awake, it's probably been on for quite a while. So, it's just something I recommend with ADE when you get them. Just put a really good battery in one of them. Alright, I'm going to tighten these screws back up, and then we'll come back and get back into this dot. One other thing we did not discuss yet was the battery life on this. On the lowest setting, you're going to get 1,500 hours out of it, and on the highest setting, you're going to get 1,000 hours. Now, let's get into the footprint of this dot. This dot has the Vortex Doctor footprint, not the RMR. Now, I have plenty of guns that I can switch these back and forth. I have a lot of RMR cut dots, and I have a lot of the Doctor Vortex print dots. But this goes on the Vortex footprint. Now, this dot is all metal construction, and it's fog proof, and it's shock proof, and it's rated up to 45 ACP. That was the same rating that the ADE Delta had on it. We tested it out on an FN 509 Tactical for about 400 or 500 rounds, and it held up just fine. And then we ended up putting it on an M&P 45, and we've got about 300 rounds down the pipe of that 45 now with the ADE Delta, and it is still holding 0. So I would highly doubt that this one is going to fail, even if you want to run it on 45 ACP. Now let's get into the weight of this optic. This optic weighs 1.94 ounces. One other thing that I really like on this is the windage and elevation. And as you can see the down. It's very easy to see on there. And for your windage, your arrow's super easy to see. And you can see the R plain as day for right. Now, I don't know if we'll be able to pick this up on the audio on the camera, but these clicks are the most audible and tactile feeling clicks that I've felt on an ADE optic yet. Same over here with the windage. Super audible, super easy to feel, and that will get you 1 MOA per click. Now, while we're talking about windage and elevation, after you mount this on the pistol, and if you mount the weather shield before you take it out to zero it, you're going to have to take the weather shield back off because you're not going to have access to your elevation. So keep that in mind. Now, I'll put it on when I go to mount this on the gun just so we can see what it looks like, but I will be taking it back off to go to the range to get it sighted in for the review video. Alright, let's get into the dot. It is a 3.5 MOA dot. There's 8 brightness settings. All right, I've got it on the lowest setting. I can see it, but the camera can't. We're going to turn it all the way up. That is the brightest setting. And it's hard to see on the camera. It's a pretty clean dot. I got just a touch of starbursting on it. It's plenty bright enough in here, shining down on the whiteboard. But we'll have to see once we get it to the range for the review how bright it is once we get it out in the sunlight. But as of right now, it's pretty much comparable to the ADE Delta, which has been one of my favorite dots from them so far. We've pretty much gone over everything on this dot. Now the last thing we're going to talk about is the warranty. And if you've watched me do these reviews on the ADE optics before, all ADE optics come with a 1-year warranty. Now the price on this optic right now at Optics Factory is $109.99. And I will put a link in the description of the video if this is something you want to order. Alright, I'm going to take this down. We're going to actually be mounting this on the test gun for the channel. It's going to be going on the Canik TP9 SFX. I'll get this mounted up, I'll bring it back, and I'll show you what it looks like on the Canik TP9 SFX. Alright, I got the dot on the gun, but something I wanted to go over was this plate did not want to sit completely flush on top of the dot, because the dot is sitting down a little bit inside the back of the Canik. So this is completely up to you, but if you want to use this shield, because I took a hand file and I filed all this down, and then I put a coat of black paint over it when I was done. Now, it took me about 20 minutes to hand file it, and it's pretty easy metal to file down. But if you decide to use a Dremel on this, I would use a lot of caution. If you want my expert opinion, take your time and use a hand file to file that down. Alright, there it is. The ADE Ares on the Canik TP9 SFX. That is one cool looking optic. Alright, in the next video, we'll take it to the range and we'll do a review on it. See how it holds up. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.